Hello everyone, today I'm in Atlanta, the home of Coke and the World Coke Museum. And so in today's video, I'm going to be looking at some of the strategies behind the most famous cola marketing wars. But first, I need to explain one of the most important marketing strategies, perception. Perception marketing is all about going in the same direction as what your customers already believe, rather than trying to change their mind. But for now, pause this video and have a think. Why is it generally a very bad idea for you to try and change your customer's mind? The answer is perception is stronger than reality. Whilst most people are open to new information, by contrast, once somebody's mind is already made up, it is very difficult to change. Have you not experienced this yourself when it comes to your friends and family? It doesn't matter sometimes how many facts or rational arguments you give. Your friends or your families, once you're having a conversation or a debate with them, just won't change their opinions. This hardwired human nature not only applies in our day-to-day lives, it also applies in marketing. This is why two of the biggest mistakes often marketers make is one, to try and change their customers' minds, and two, to do it using logic. When it comes to marketing, what you instead need to do is accept that perception is reality. And so position yourself in such a way that your customers' perceptions benefit you. Here are 3 examples from the famous cola marketing wars that illustrate why this is such an important concept to apply to your marketing. Have you heard of Royal Crown Cola? Probably not. But in the 1960s, it was the 3rd largest brand of cola drink. What was their mistake? Their mistake was, in their advertising campaigns, they emphasized that taste tests proved that their cola tasted better than Cokes and Pepsis. Their strategy failed because they used logic instead of perception in their advertising. It doesn't matter if by actual fact your cola does taste better than Cokes. Your customers won't believe it because their perception is, if you have the best tasting cola, why are you not the leading brand? In marketing, judgment equals perception, not facts. A much better marketing strategy than Royal Crown's was that of Pepsi's. In the 1950s, Coke massively outsold Pepsi 5-1. But by the 1980s, Pepsi had managed to massively eat into the market share of one of the world's most powerful brands. Everyone knows that Coke is the leading brand and the original. Pepsi was really smart because what they did was to not compete with this perception, but rather go along with it and position themselves in such a way that Coke's strength actually became their weakness. Pepsi did this with their Choice of a New Generation campaign. If Coke is the original, it means it is for an older generation. Pepsi's marketing told young people, do you really want to drink what your parents drink? You are the Pepsi generation. By doing this, their sales rocketed because not only did young people identify with Pepsi, but older people that wanted to feel young started purchasing Pepsi as well. My final example is that of 7-Up. What do the examples of Royal Crown and Pepsi teach us? You should know the answer by now. Pause the video and have a think. The answer is, when you are fighting a number 1 brand, don't fight them head on. Instead, be an alternative. Because of people's perceptions, no one is going to accept that you are better. But no matter how powerful a brand is, people will accept alternatives. Coffee is an alternative to tea. BMW is an alternative to Mercedes. In 1968, 7-Up did this perfectly by advertising themselves as the Uncola drink. And guess what? Their sales went up by 15%. But then 7-Up made a disastrous mistake and switched to marketing strategy. Their commercials stated America was turning 7-Up and featured a lot of singing and dancing. Why do you think this approach was a mistake? Pause the video and have a think. This approach was flawed because it takes Coke head on. Singing and dancing is what Coke and Pepsi do best. Do not attack a market leader at what they do best. And number 2, consumers are not naive. Everyone knows Coke is number 1. And so when 7-Up said that America's turning 7-Up, in the minds of their customers, all that meant was just hyped marketing. And hyped marketing really has no effect. Today, I'm just going to share with you one key takeaway because it's just so important. Marketing is about perception, and perception is not about logic. If you would like to learn more of the marketing science techniques I use to build a 1,000+ company, subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for my latest updates.